saying is that this is me in my storage unit working on the bike, and I just want to say thank you to Custom Dynamics for sending me out the Magic Flex 2 and a bunch of other stuff. I have the link to that in the description, so if you want to check that out, please do. The install, we're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to talk about you know, what I got, the tools you're going to probably need. We're just going to skim through a lot of it because these are my first impressions. I installed it. I rode my bike home, so it is at home, it's working, it's functioning, everything. So this is just the first impressions. It's not going to be the review yet because I still want to go out for a ride with the lights on at night and do all that stuff. So I got it finished around 1:30ish, so about an hour and a half ago I got it all finished, so I've been finally able to relax and do all that stuff. But in the meantime, this is just a quick behind the scenes, you know, kind of what I'm doing. This is all B-roll footage that I was going to do, and I'm going to kind of talk about some other stuff. The custom, okay, so the Magic Flex is, check out the link in the description. So it's right here. I'll go ahead and I'll post it in the chat. This is what I got, and I got the Bluetooth remote, which I don't have with me right here, but I got the Bluetooth remote, so I'm able to strobe it and all that stuff, and I'll be including that. Yeah, they're flexible LEDs. I'll be including that in the review, but I just want to go over with what I got. So what I got was like I said, the Magic Flex 2 with the wheels. I got the wheel LEDs, and I got the Bluetooth remote, or I got the remote, and I think that's it. So some of the tools that I needed, obviously you're going to need some wire crimpers and wire strippers. That was going to be a huge thing. I didn't have any. I couldn't find mine. So I actually used an X-Acto knife. I used a utility knife to do all that. So that was kind of a pain in the ass. You should be getting audio. Yeah, I was gonna say you should be getting audio. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I see it on my end that you can hear me. So you're gonna need obviously the normal wiring tools. You're gonna need the crimper. You're gonna need probably scissors. You're gonna need wire cutters. But they come with everything. And like I said, this is gonna be in the review. It's gonna be more detailed. I'm gonna be like fully on it. You're not gonna. This is live, and if you guys have any questions, please. Sometimes it goes out when you first come. Yeah, it goes out because I forgot that I have it muted. But I'm going to talk about all the stuff that you do need and stuff that you don't need. I bought a soldering iron thinking I was going to need it. I didn't originally need it, but then I had to use it. So I'm going to go over all those things and all the issues that I've had and how I fixed them. And that's going to be all in the review. So this is just the first impressions. This is what I was doing for the past 2 days. So how much time did it really take me? Well, it took me a few days. I originally started doing this like a couple weeks ago, and I went to work on it, did a live stream for the patrons and Discord members, and I just got stumped. I couldn't figure it out. Dewey did it, helped me. Venezia helped me. Venezia, I keep saying it wrong, man. Tony helped me, and you guys are all helping me out on that. So I really appreciate your guys' help, but I finally got it done today. Same thing with getting some of your guys' help. So the main thing with the install, I'm looking at my stuff right here. The main thing with the install is that you have to find the LED locations that you want to do. Now it's pretty standard. It's pretty standard with where you're gonna put them. I mean, you get like these really long LED strips, and I did an unboxing video, but you get really long LED strips. Those go on the very bottom for the underglow. You get a second set of somewhat long strips. They go under the tank, and then you get a few little ones. And I put them in different positions than what they recommended. They wanted you to put it like under the air filter and all that stuff. But I put them in the back, as you can kind of tell right here next to the saddlebags. I'm looking at that position right there. I put them back there. Obviously the wheel ones go next to the wheels. But you can pretty much find out, like you can put them wherever you want. That's the cool things. But trying to route the wires were kind of an issue for me. Just because I didn't want to mess with anything with the bike. So like I was just trying to follow where they already had wires going around the bike. So that's pretty much what you got to do. You got to bring all the wires according to instructions. I didn't have my instructions. I thought they didn't send me instructions. I must have pulled out the instructions when I first got the the package, and man, I must have lost it because I was getting pissed. I was like, where are the instructions? This is ridiculous that they don't come with instructions. I finally decided to go to the website and click on the product, and on the product page it has the instructions, so you can literally download the instructions. I printed them out and I had them, and I was like, wow, this is so much easier. So you have to route them the way they're supposed to route. You get a black and a colored wire. The colored wire is whatever color light you got. So if you got a blue light, it's gonna be a blue wire. If you got a red light, it's gonna be a red wire. I got amber lights, so they're like a yellow wire. So that was kind of confusing to me because I was thinking, because in the instructions it said the red wire, and I had to keep telling myself, no, it's not the red wire, it's the yellow wire. The black wire is the black wire. So you kind of have to understand you might get a different wire for the different color of what you got. That's important. They don't tell you that in the instructions. I found that out by watching their video. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna include that into the video, the review video, of just so you don't get confused. It confused me for a split second. I know probably some of you guys don't get confused. It confused me. But definitely bring them all together according to the instructions, and troubleshoot your problems. If you have any problems when you make the connections, and I'll show you the rat's nest that I created underneath the seat. I'll show you how I connected everything. It's crazy. It's a mess underneath the seat, but cable management wasn't a concern of mine at the moment. But yeah, definitely test it with the battery pulled out of the bike. Definitely pull, like, you can connect the negative and positive terminals of the lights just to the battery. Don't worry about the bike. Just pull the battery out of the bike, test it, and you constantly, if you have to, test it. And because the lights run off the battery, not the bike, so you can actually have the bike completely off and have the LEDs running. Obviously, you're going to drain your battery if you have them on for like a couple days, if it lasts a couple days. But definitely troubleshoot it by not having to reach in, plug it all in, reach out. Just pull the battery all the way out. So the things that I ran into with the install that you're going to probably run into, and like I said during the review video, I'm going to include a lot of footage of me riding the bike with the LED so I can kind of explain it a little bit better, and it's not going to be live, so where I'm just like constantly trying to talk to you guys. I can actually focus, give you guys the information. But I wanted to give you guys my first impressions right off the bat. I just installed it an hour and a half ago. Completely done, hour and a half ago. So these are like still fresh, so I don't forget. Trigger word. Oh man. So the issues that during the install that you might run into, because I ran into them, was that I lost the instructions and assumed it didn't come with any. Well, if you lose your instructions, definitely go to their website, to the product page, and click the instructions, download instructions. Same instructions, perfectly fine. But I didn't know that right away. I thought they just didn't come with it, and I was getting pissed, and I never checked. So I went to their website, and they have install videos. They do have install videos from one of their technicians, and the one that I watched, he didn't do it on a Sportster. He did it on a bigger bagger and everything. So it was a different kind of seat management. It was a different type of area. Cause yeah, I got a haircut. I shaved my head today. So it was a completely different bike. And one thing here's the thing. I'm gonna talk about it in the review video. Oh, we got a Didit, Nenad Saritovic just subscribed. Thank you. One thing that I do have an issue with is the install video wasn't as helpful as it should have been, and I'm going to tell you why. The guy that was doing the install, the guy that was doing the work, you can tell he's a very good installer. You can tell he just wants to get stuff done. He's good with his hands. He's not a YouTuber, so it's hard for him to explain what he was trying to do in a layman's term type way, but he installed it great. I mean, he was just working, and I'm like, man, you're going so fast to me, and it's like, I don't understand what you're trying to do. So the explanation of what he was doing didn't really carry over so well, and I think maybe that's why Custom Dynamics wanted me to do an install video, and I'll definitely go over what issues I had and how I installed it, but I cannot walk you through it because I was having trouble. And it seemed like he did it in 10 minutes. It took me 3 days, which it shouldn't have. And I'll talk to you about that. Also, he used equipment that not a normal person would have. So when you get this equipment, you can you can buy the 3M primer things, and you're not going to see it in this video, but they're like little sticks. I think I have one around here somewhere. Anyways, they're like little sticks. You break it like a glow stick, and you primer. It's basically like alcohol swabs, but it's specific to 3M tape, and that's where you kind of stick it to, so it makes it so that it's clean. Everything works better. He used he's like, here, you can buy these, but we're not going to use them because we have this. And he pulls out like a big jug of 3M primer stuff, and he's just using it. I'm like, I want to see how you did it. I want to see how much you're using. He didn't use what came with the product. He used an auto crimper, an auto wire cutter, and I didn't have that. So I mean, he was just like boom, 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 doing it. And I'm like, man, I know you're not trying to explain to me how a wire cutter and wire crimper works, but it's like I can't follow along that quick. And then he uses some tips that were not in the instructions. So like the tip about the LEDs, about the wires. He mentions in the video, hey, if you have a red LEDs, it's gonna be red wire. If you have blue LEDs, it's gonna be blue wire. He says that in the video, but it's not in the instructions. He also mentions, if you're going to install the Bluetooth, or not the Bluetooth, but the remote, he's like, what I would do is I would install the kill switch between the remote and the battery. So that way, if you are using the remote, you can turn off, because the remote constantly is searching for a signal, which takes a small draw on your bike. So if you don't ride your bike for a while, or if you don't have it plugged in, it could possibly drain your battery over the course of I don't know how long. So he's like, what I do is I put the kill switch between that, so that when you get off your bike, you can kill the remote trying to find a signal. That wasn't in the instructions. That was not in the instructions. It literally doesn't even mention any of that. It says either use the kill switch or the remote. So that was good to know. I wish that was in the instructions as like, hey, tips and tricks. So I was able to do that. So I have a few issues with that, but that's not that big of a deal, considering I talked to customer support, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So my satisfaction with the product so far. I've only had it on for an hour and a half, and I haven't really rode with it yet. So like I said, this is my first impressions, but I will have a review video, not live stream, and I'll be going over these same points and kind of see where I'm at. The install and getting the lights was very intimidating. Now that's not going to change, because man, it's intimidating. Like, you want to have LED lights. Let's say you want to have them on there, but it's like, man, that seems like such a lot of work. There's all these wires. What's all this stuff? Very intimidating. Once you relax a little bit and really think it and look at the bike and look at the instructions, look at what you have, not that hard. It literally is just some wires that you're going to route. It's like a big mess. Once you have it routed, it looks nice. Calm down a little bit. It's easy. It really is not that hard. But I believe that goes for any type of electrical work, honestly. I'm also glad they sent me the remote. And the reason why I say that is because we were just garbage at it. The reason why I say it, that I'm glad they sent me the remote, is because I kind of wasn't expecting it. What I always understood about the LED lights is you turn them on, you turn them off. Cool. That's all I wanted for. I just want to go ride with them on at the brightest at night. Amber LEDs are very visible at night. That is what I want to do. What's up, Night Rain? How you doing? Also, he's talking about DDFM crew. If you want to join the DDFM crew, that's the Patreon. So make sure you join patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman. But I didn't know with the BM4, I think it was the Blackmagic 4 they sent me, is that you can change the settings. And I have a video of that. It's not on here. It's not going to be back here, but I can make it strobe. I can make it breathe. I can change the brightness. And that's really cool. I'm glad I got that. It was just a matter of installing an extra piece. But like I said, the one gripe that I have is that the instructions are a little bit different than the tip video. I'll talk about that during my install video, install/review video. It's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna break it up though. Also, the choice of color is important, and this goes along with my satisfaction. It's like I could have chose. Hey, woken up from a nap. Bald. Ryan, how you doing? So the choice of color is very important. You can go with like really bright blue, go with bright red. You can get green. You can get purple. You can get amber, yellow. You can get all these different colors, but you need to make the right choice. These aren't cheap LEDs. I mean, you can buy cheap ones off Amazon. They come from China and whatever. But Custom Dynamics is American made, and you get American customer service. And I'm gonna talk, like I said, I'm gonna talk about that at the end. So please don't leave yet. But I got these LEDs so I can be seen better. So I did some research. At night is when you're gonna be, you're not seen. So what color is best seen at night? And amber LEDs are very visible at night. Neon green, those bright neon green, is very visible during the day. Amber is very visible at night. I also had to go towards my state law, and state law says that anything forward of the rear wheel, rear taillights, basically, anything forward of the rear taillights have to be amber. Anything behind the rear wheel must be red. That's what it did. So I have all amber. So I have amber rear wheel, amber front wheel, amber underglow, and I have Custom Dynamics Pro Beam rear taillights. So, and those are red. So I stuck within Arizona state law. If something does happen to where I get pulled over and I get a fix-it ticket, fix it. Gotta fix it. But I should be good. I honestly should be good. Hooking up LED lights, any lights really ain't much different than a water pump. One line in, one line out. Same with wires. One wire current in, one current out. By the way, love your shows. Diesel, yeah, I'm just not very good at it. It's just very intimidating. But I get the understanding of it. I just not very good at it. So a little extra that I wanted to talk about, and this is gonna be in chronological a little bit, is the hey, what's up, Vlad? How you doing? Oh, if you want to see what the LEDs look like, if you join my Patreon, even for $1 a month, I do share, like, it's like an Instagram stories. I shared a video of the LEDs working. So $1 a month, you get to see that stuff. So join the Patreon crew, the patreon.com/DanDanTheFireman, or the link in the description. For $1 a month, you get to see those like Instagram story, Snapchat story type things. And I post them almost every day, and a lot of it's behind, kind of who I am type stuff. But yeah, there's a video of the LEDs that are working on that. So Erin from Custom Dynamics, she's the one that I was having conversations with during the email. This is extra stuff, behind the scenes stuff. I had a conversation with her. She approached me saying, hey, I really like your channel. Let's talk about safety. How would you like to have LED underglow or LED lights? Or is there any products that you would like in our product catalog? And I told her, I'm looking at the LED lights, for safety. I've talked about it before, and I like this. And I showed her the Magic Flex I liked this and this and this and this. This was back in, I think, July. And she's like, cool, here you go. She sent me out a bunch of stuff, and she's like, and I asked her, I was like, could you sponsor August? Could you sponsor August's Patreon giveaway? So for $1 a month, you get $1 is one name in the hat, $20 20 names in the hat. So she sponsored the Patreon giveaway for August, and congratulations, Ty, for winning. And he's actually gonna get some Pro Beam turn signals. It's like $100-something value. So she was great, very gracious, very courteous. But I was supposed to do everything in August. I was supposed to make this video in August. I was supposed to make the reviews in August. Supposed to make the installs and all that stuff in August. If you guys know from the DDFM crew on Discord and on Patreon, my grandmother passed away last month, and I just didn't even bother. I didn't bother to make any new footage. I just used a lot of old footage to just get videos up. I emailed her and I told her I'm sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for not having videos up. I'm just, this is my situation. Immediately, very quick, she was very respectful. She's very understanding. She's like, keep your family in your prayers and your thoughts. I don't want, to be looping. She said for that, 1 second, supposed to loop. There we go. All right, and she said that, she's like, don't worry about making the videos. I'd rather have quality videos than you just trying to rush it. So just take your time. Thank you, Erin, for that. Also, like I said, Custom Dynamics is American made and American owned. So if that's important to you, it is to me. Go ahead and check them out. That's important. If it wasn't for my patrons and my Discord members, I would be so lost on how to install this stuff. I'm serious. I am super serious. And I just had issues today, and the reason why I was able to finish my videos, and I'm looking at my phone real quick because I actually have an email chain from Custom Dynamics. I'm gonna go ahead and I sent it to the Discord. So I called Custom Dynamics because I had everything working, everything was doing great, put the seat on, put the battery cover back on, and the lights didn't work. I was getting frustrated. I was like, this is taking me forever. I blew a fuse earlier today, so I had to go drive and pick up another fuse, and I had to go to 2 different stores. What's up, Chris? How you doing? What's up, brah? How you doing? And I had to do all that stuff, so I was getting pissed, and everyone on Discord was like, they're like, hey, why don't you just call them? And I'm like, I don't want to call them. I want to figure this out on my own. Well, I finally called them, and I actually have the recordings because I record all my phone calls. That's just in case I miss something. I delete. They have like auto delete feature after 200 calls or whatnot. But anyways, so I'm looking at my phone. And I got an email after my conversation on the phone with them, and I was talking to Angelina. I'm sorry, Angelina, and I told her. She asked me, "Hey, did you like?" As soon as I called, they answered. It wasn't like I had to go through a bunch of push button crap. I called their customer service, got an answer right away. And she's like, hey, how you doing? How can I help you? And I told her, like, you know, I installed all my stuff. I put the seat back on. I'm pushing the button on my Bluetooth, or I mean on my remote. It's not working. It was working. I'm having issues. I'm having these issues. Yeah, RAKK, you guys are helping me out, man. You guys are definitely helping me out. And I told her, and she's like, okay, you know, did you buy it from us? I'm like, I didn't buy it, Aaron. And I told her, I was like, you know, I have a YouTube channel. Aaron sent these out to me, and you know, so I guess I got them from you guys. I was like, Aaron from customer service. That's all I know. So okay. So she did something really quick, and she must have got my information from the phone that I was using, and she pulled everything up super quick. She didn't send me off to anybody else, and I talked to her. She's like, okay, I'm gonna pass this information along to a tech. Is this a good phone number for you? And she repeated my phone number. I said, yeah. She said, okay, they'll be giving you a call very soon. I was like, okay. So I just kind of sat there, and I'm like, well, I can't leave. And like my phone was on 20%. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to, I can't charge my phone. I got a call like a couple minutes later. I get a call from Jacob, and he's like, hey man, how you doing? I'm like, well, not so good. I can't figure this out. And so he's like, okay, let's troubleshoot this. He's like, push these buttons, you know, does this button work? I'm like, no. Okay, do you have any LEDs come on? No. He's like, okay, so pull out some of the black wires. And he's like going through this situation with me. He's like, okay, now touch, like ground it on something else, ground it on a different, ground it on part of the frame, a bolt that isn't painted. I was like, okay. So I did that. He's like, did the LEDs come on? I was like, yeah, the LEDs came on. He's like, okay, so you got good battery, you got good, you know, voltage, you know, this and this and this. And then, so we worked it. He's like, so where do you have it grounded? It's like, well, I have it grounded on the frame, like the part of the, and I'll show you guys all in my review. He's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and take that off. Let's put it on the terminal. Let's try that out. I was like, okay. And so I did that, and it worked. It worked. And I kind of want to read you guys the email. I'm going to read it out real quick. During the review, I'm going to have this actually posted up there. So at 3:30 p.m., literally 3:30 p.m. For them, Eastern Standard Time. So 1:30 p.m. for me, or I think it was 12:30. I don't know. Daniel is installing his Magic Flex 2, and this is an email correspondence between Angelina and Jacob. So this is what she sent the tech after she got off the phone call. You can't see it. Daniel's installing his Magic Flex 2 accent lights, and she put all the product numbers. The lights were working fine after install until he put the seat back on. Now the lights will not illuminate. He verified the remote box and lights were operation prior to putting seat cover back on. Would like to troubleshoot with technician. Thank you, Angelina Filmer. And then that was what he got. So he called. I talked to him. Big hello from 11. He called me and I talked to him. We troubleshooted it. We got it working. So this was the email he sent her, Angelina. Spoke with Daniel. He did not have a circuit tester on hand, so we disconnected a bundle of black ground wires from the cage clamps and connected them to a chassis ground, and the LEDs illuminated. So he asked me if I had a circuit tester. I didn't have one. So that's gonna be another thing, is that you might want to have that as a tool. So he put, this not only tells us the LEDs are operational, but that the BM Remote 4 is sending 12 volt on the white wire, therefore the fuse is good. And the fuses were good. I was able to check that. We pressed and held button 1, which is the on button on the remote, for each key fob and found a solid illumination without flicker. We disconnected the black ground wire coming from the B4 remote that was previously connected to a ground on the engine and moved it to the same location we tested the black wires previously for testing, and found the lights operated properly with key fobs. Daniel will relocate the black ground wire directly to the negative terminal of the battery and will contact me should he experience any issues. I told him, hey, I'll go ahead and do that. It sounds like it works. I'll call you if I have any problems. This was the email correspondence they sent each other, and then I got the whole email after the phone call. Not only were they very helpful, they were calm, they knew what they were doing, and I feel like you wouldn't get that if you bought something off Amazon and it was like from a overseas, like super cheap, like $40 LED set. Like something happens, something breaks, good luck getting troubleshooting, tech help. I legit was surprised by the help I got, and I was very impressed with the email and correspondence I got afterwards and how quick it was and how understanding they were. It was insane. It was crazy. I was having this issue all day yesterday and all day today. I was like, why is this stuff not working? Why does it work and then it doesn't work? It is because my ground wasn't good. And I couldn't figure that out. I know some of you guys would. I know some of you guys would figure that out. But as somebody that doesn't do this very often, somebody who's never done I've done electrical work on my bike. I relocated the Speedo, but I don't do much. I never do electrical work. This was very intimidating and daunting, and being able to call them, I should have called them a long time ago. They would have helped me out. I think the demo videos they have online are okay to get you through, and I'm always used to having to deal with customer service and never getting help. I never wanted to call, but I finally did when I got stuck, and it's like I should have called them first. Should have called them right away, and never had an issue. So custom dynamics is huge. Adulting, it's fine. Spiffy, how you doing? So calling them was big. It helped me out. It literally made probably a couple. I'd be asking the Discord. I'd be looking online, and nobody could help me out as much as what they did, only because it's like they probably get calls like this all the time. So custom dynamics, that was insane. It was good. I like the product that I have. I like everything I got. I can't wait to do an actual full review because of I need to ride it out at nighttime. I want to go for a ride. That's the whole point. It's going for a ride and not. Hey, Larry. One second. So the whole point of having these lights on is not to sit in the parking lot and have my lights just strobing out and looking cool. The point of having these lights is I want to ride down the road and be visible. So that is the whole point of that. So I need to test that. I really do need to test that. So that will be in the review for next week. This was just my first impressions. I'll be going over all this types of stuff in a much shorter video. Like right now we're at 35 minutes. I'm sure I can make it more concise into a 15 to 20 minute video and with more stuff. Then I'll have more footage and different footage. But if you guys got any questions, I know I've been talking forever. If you guys have any questions about the custom dynamics, what issues I had, it's fresh in my mind still. You have any questions about the meetup coming up Sunday? If you have any questions about anything like that, please let me know. Is white light legal like that? White light you can have in the front, and it all depends on, this is the website. I'm going to find the website. LED Underglow. All right. Let me find it for you. So it's this is for me. This is the Arizona laws. Gas chamber. So these were the Arizona laws. So all lights visible from the front of the car, and they talk about car, but it's basically any vehicle. There's nothing specific to motorcycles, but so the car. So all lights visible from the front of the car or vehicle should be white or amber. All lights visible on the rear side of the car should be red. License plate illumination must be white. Flashing lights are prohibited. So with that information for Arizona state law is that I can pretty much put amber anywhere as long as the rear is red. So I have rear tail lights that are red. You can see that. And then the underglow for the rear tire, it doesn't obscure that. So I should be fine there. If they say anything, I'll just take off the tire ones. License plate illumination must be white. So it has to be, if it's illuminated, it has to be white. So you can't illuminate it with like a red. But also Arizona state law mentions that you just have to have your license plate visible at all times. So if I get an issue, I just won't ride at night. Because like right now, my license plate is on the sissy bar, and it doesn't have a white light shooting on it. But you want to definitely check out your laws for your state, and that website right there, neonlaws.com, has every U.S. state, I think, that has a law, and it's very well researched. So that I would definitely recommend doing that. So if you have any questions about that, I can give you the information that I had to look up before I bought it. And that was the thing is, Erin asked me, hey, you know, can you do this? And I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I can buy this. I'm planning to buy a motorcycle. Unfortunately, my option are buying the Honda Rebel 250 used or buy a new Rebel. What do you recommend? I'm thinking of getting a 500, but there's no used 500 near me. Well, I mean, do you want a 250 or do you want the 500? Okay. I want to be able to use the bike on the street as well on the highway once I'm comfortable doing so. If you're gonna be on the highway, the 250 is probably not gonna be the best bet. The 500 is gonna be the best bet out of those two options. Yeah. So the 500, and you want the 500. So here's the thing: if you want the 500, get the 500. There's no used 500s. You might be able to find something. Look, I was using the X-Acto knife. I didn't have wire strippers. If you can possibly find like maybe a 1 year old Rebel 500 at the dealership. Really, the only thing that is different between year after year, you have to look it up. Usually, the only thing that's really different is color. Pretty much it. Maybe like a different headlight or something like cosmetic is different from year to year. When it's like 5-year difference, there's a technology difference. But I would get the 500 if you can afford it. If you can afford it. If you have to save up a little bit more, get the 500. Also, I mean, are you sticking with just the Rebel? There's other bikes out there that would be really good for highway use and in town use too. Rebel 500 I'm probably gonna buy one. That thing's badass. My stock OEM was red lens with the clear slits on top to illuminate plate. Bulb was white. Yeah, the old Rebel 450. Yeah, the Rebels are great bikes. Brian, I think you'll be fine. The cops don't really. The only time you'll ever get pulled over is that if they think if you're speeding and whatnot, or if they have suspicion of you, they'll pull you over for the light. That way they can check your registration, make sure you don't have warrants. So I mean, if you just don't want to be harassed, sure, go ahead. But I think, especially Tucson has bigger issues than making sure the lights are perfect. I think if anything, I'll be pulled over because I'll be driving and riding around with amber underglow on my bike. I think as long as you have a working light, you should be fine. So with the neonlaws.com, those things, it shows you, it asks, is neon underglow legal in Arizona? And then it actually gives you the state legislature, the ASRs. So you get all that stuff, but it gives you a recommendation. So It says, we highly recommend avoiding blue and red colors on any aftermarket lights, including underbody glow, as these colors are typically used on emergency vehicles. To stay completely within the law, you may want to consider using white or amber lights on the front and front sides of the car, red lights in the rear sides and rear of the car. Provisions governing these colors concern other vehicle lighting, but may be interpreted as relevant to neon underglow as well. So that's basically like if you have a motorcycle or different type of stuff. There are no relevant AZ laws which specifically restrict or prohibit installing car underglow, meaning we consider it legal to use it while driving. Now that's obviously not a legal statement. They consider it. Yeah, some places underglow is just straight banned. So I mean, if you're stuck there, you're stuck there. And if that's the case, maybe look into getting better turn signals and rear tail lights. And Custom Dynamics has that. So I think that's really cool. Especially their front turn signals, their the Pro Beam and all that stuff is that they're white until you hit your turn signal. So you get extra LED illumination up front. Excuse me. And then when you hit your turn signal, that specific one turns into a turn signal. So it has amber turning, and then it goes back to being a white light. So I think that's really cool. And that works really good for Arizona because you have to have white or amber up front. Completely illegal in Jersey. Yeah, let's see. New Jersey. Well, it says neon underglow is not illegal, but it's not specifically forbidden, but they're only legal if all lights visible from the front of the car must be white or amber, all lights visible from the front sides of the car must be amber, all lights visible from the back or rear back of the car must be red, license plate illumination must be white, no flashing lights may be used. So that means you're restricted to amber, white, and red in New Jersey. Yeah, they're great. Why do you? Oh, Hockey Team just subscribed. Why do you feel that sticking with that will be something you're more comfortable with compared to an 800cc? Like, do you feel like an 800cc is like too much power for a new bike? Yeah, you're just stuck in New Jersey. You're just stuck with white, amber, and red. I don't think there's. See, in Maine, neon underglow is illegal in Maine. It is very specific and restrictive. You can use underglow for shows or exhibitions. You can never use it while driving. And they don't recommend using it in public parking lots either, as an overeager police officer may still be able to give you a citation. That sucks. But in Arizona, we can do it. Ulysses, the bike that you're seeing right here, that's a 1200cc. I never rode a motorcycle. Never. I didn't even have gear when I first bought it. I didn't have an endorsement. And I learned how to ride on this. And you really don't ride to the power of the bike. You ride within your ability. So a 500cc is good beginner because you can't almost outride your ability because it's such a low cc. You can still die on one. Not to scare you, but getting a 1200, 800, and all that stuff, it's perfectly fine. Just understand you're not going to use the full potential of the bike right away, and you shouldn't. So if you want to grow into a bike, definitely get something a little bit bigger than a 500. If you want to get a bike that you know that you are going to be 100% comfortable on when you first start riding, 500 is perfect. And who knows, you might just love riding the 500 all the time, and you never have to upgrade. So there's a reason why a lot of the smaller CCs are considered beginner class, and you find them on Craigslist all the time because people outgrow them. But I learned on this 1200 right here, thing right here. I've had this bike since November 2011. I just picked up a Sportster. I love it. It's my first bike as well. What Sportsters did you get? Model? What year? Drinking some cold brew. Some cold brew. What time is it? I'm gonna have to be getting off in about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, just because I gotta pick up my daughter from orchestra. But if you guys have any questions, also, like I said, if it wasn't for my Discord, and if it wasn't for, and I'm not gonna say my Discord, if it wasn't for our Discord, and if it wasn't for the DDFM crew on Patreon, I would not have gotten this done. So thank you, Custom Dynamics, for sponsoring August. Congrats, Ty, again, for winning. But thank you guys for making the channel successful enough to where I got noticed by Custom Dynamics. Lee, yeah, I've never owned a street bike before. Iron 983 seemed pretty adapt pretty well. Yeah, Iron 983 is a really good bike, and if you ever want to upgrade, upgrade it with the hammer kit, the 1250 hammer kit, and you can still put the 883 on your insurance as an 883 instead of a 1200, so it's cheaper for your insurance. Little tidbit of information, life hack. Ready to relax? Hey, Michael. Ready to relax to the vids. I will be getting off in, like I said, about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, so I can go pick up my daughter. And then at, was it 4? So 5 o'clock, in an hour and 15 minutes from now, I'll be having a Patreon meeting where we talk business and we talk about, you know, where the channel's going. And anybody that's a $5 or more patron gets access to that. So if you guys want to join for that live stream, you're gonna see where this channel is gonna go and the direction it's going for this month, and what has worked for the past couple months, and what, you know, I want your information and your help to kind of figure out where you want it to go. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. I learned so much from these. But you guys make this so successful. I got a bunch of videos. I seriously got a whole bunch of videos ready, lined up from this past weekend with Fast Eddie. You've upgraded the Harley Davidson Sport Glide 107. Damn! Did you upgrade or did you buy an extra bike? Did you trade it in? But I got a bunch of footage from this past weekend, and then, guys, Sunday we're having a meetup. We're gonna have a meetup. Check out the Discord and check out the Patreon page so you can get the information about the meetup. I have a link in the description. See you later, RAKK. Yeah, Ulysses, check out, just sit on a bunch of bikes. Sit on a bunch of bikes. I understand the fear of not wanting to get a big bike right away, but sit on a bike and see what's comfortable to you and within your budget. Trade in, okay. Carlos, 2000's a bit old, but it runs great. That's fine, man. That's all that matters, man. But yeah, I have a link in the description. It's for the meetup. I'll just paste it in here, copy and paste it. So this is the meetup that we're gonna be doing this weekend. So if you can make it, awesome. If you can't, that's okay too. So I'm gonna go ahead and be getting off so that way I can go pick up my daughter. But if you want to be part of the live stream in an hour, make sure you get on Patreon, $5 a month. That's it. And you get a bunch of different perks. So definitely check out the perks and you check out all the tiers. We got a whole bunch of people. Yeah, always start with something you're comfortable on. If you're uncomfortable with it, it's a bad situation because you're already uncomfortable with, you know, starting to ride. So don't be uncomfortable with the bike itself. But thank you guys. I appreciate you listening to me for 50 minutes. And this review will be concise, down into something that is easily digestible for next week. So I'm excited for that. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. And let's see how many people subscribe. Let's see all the people that subscribe. We got, let's see, let's say hi. Say hi to the subscribers. Nanad Zahitovic, Hockey 916. So we got 2 subscribers during the live stream. I'll be seeing you guys later, okay?